In this video clip, I want to show you how to build a study guide or a test prep for your material. And I'm using the objectives that are part of your course structure to do this. There are a lot of them. There are 16 of these. And the way that you would want to do this, if I were doing it, this is what I would do. I would set up the section in my book for test prep, and I would go to that section with my textbook open there. And again, I would do this when I'm setting up, and I'm having issues getting that to work, sorry. I would do this when I was setting up my chapter before your lectures start at school. So go to test prep. You have a sheet of paper there. Write the number 1. And where this says, actually, I think I would go ahead and write the chapter number 2. So chapter 29, just for reference, then the number 1. Okay, objective number 1 says, discuss the characteristics of irritable bowel syndrome. So I would write, what are the characteristics of IBS? Question mark. And I would leave myself some space, however many lines you feel like you will need. Number 2, explain how diverticulitis occurs. So turn it into a question. How does diverticulitis occur? Well, it's an itis, so it's an inflammation. Okay. Okay, number 3. I'm not going to do all of these, but you get the idea. Identify the causes and signs and symptoms of a strangulated or incarcerated hernia. So what are, now this one I would do this way. What are the blank of a strangulated which is another way of saying an incarcerated. That sounds terribly unpleasant. Hernia. Okay, this is why I would break it up, because it's asking for 3 different things. It's asking for signs, I like graphic organizers. You will notice that as we move through this. So I would make a section for the signs. Excuse me, I forgot causes, symptoms. And they were very clear about those 3 things, so you need to be able to explain or address all of them. And I would go ahead and write out these questions all the way through the 16 objectives. This is doing 2 things. First of all, it's setting up a test prep for you, because these are the key objectives of this chapter. You can bet they're going to be on a test. If you can answer these questions, you know this chapter for a test. If you cannot answer these questions, you need to be asking your instructor to help you answer these questions. The second thing it does, and for me this is the big thing, it preps your brain to read. So before you sit down to read your chapter, read through these questions that you're writing. And then when you see, for example, the word diverticulitis, you're going to hone in on that because your brain is already primed to look for it. So let me come over here and see if I can find the word. I remember seeing it. Here we go. This is getting around this question, but look down here in this bottom section. Diverticulitis occurs. Look at that. It's going to answer it for you. How does diverticulitis occur? Diverticulitis occurs when the diverticula become inflamed or infected. So there's the answer to that question. But because I have laid out these questions beforehand, my brain is primed to look for those words together. Again, if you don't readily know the answers to these, go back and find the answers, and this will help you on test prep.